Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here with another Pokemon Sun and Moon competitive video. I feel if you guys haven't been checking the channel the past few days, I've released 3 videos so far that pertain to competitive Pokemon. ash-greninja stats, the Thunder Wave nerf, and the Confuse Ray nerf. All 3 of those will be linked down below in the description. If you missed them, you want to go ahead and check them out. I also want to give a huge shout out to Pokemon PhD, the guy's Twitter that I'm on. A lot of the information that I did found or did talk about was found on his Twitter. So if you guys want to go ahead and follow him, the link will be down below. But in any case, we have another video, and this is on Z moves. And again, I feel that this has to do with competitive Pokemon. So his tweet was, what happens when you Z move into a type immunity, and what he shows is a hacked ground type Golbat. So let's actually watch the video real quick. Now he thunderbolts this whoops, I don't want to skip ahead first because I want to prove that it is a ground type Golbat first, and that's exactly what he does too, because obviously people might be questioning this. But what he does is he thunderbolts this Golbat turn 1, and obviously it doesn't affect Golbat, so we know that it is ground type, or it has been changed to ground type. And then right here he uses a Z move, and again we already know it's a ground type, so the animation still goes off. And what happens is that obviously the Z move shouldn't work, right? Because it's a ground type. I've already mentioned that twice. So obviously the Z move shouldn't work. And now when he goes back to fight, even though the Z move didn't work, it's gone. So he's not able to use the Z move anymore. So basically what happens is move data list Gigavolt Havoc as having only 1 PP. Basically your Z move is blown on immunities. Now what this means for VGC is that he even mentioned it himself, and I thought it exactly the same way, that it may indicate that you can lose your Z move by launching it into Protect, and that is huge. Z moves are incredibly powered attacks that every Pokemon can use. And for example, I believe Gigavolt Havoc in the Pokemon Sun and Moon demo, excuse me, it's a little bit early. It's it just turned 7 and I went to sleep around 4, so I apologize, I recently woke up. The demo, I believe, had that based at 175 base power, and that also changes based on the move. So they're incredibly powerful moves, and the fact that Protect can potentially burn them is huge. A lot of people were worried about Z moves because they're like, okay, well, why is my let's just give an example of Carracosta, because I believe that's something that you can, that's in the Alolan Dex or something like that. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't want to spoil too much about the game itself, but let's just say that's in the Carracosta, in the Alolan Dex, right? And that uses a Z move, and that allows it to break through maybe a Pokemon like Rotom, for example, if that was in the Dex. I don't know. Maybe a Pokemon like Rotom, for example, and wow, Z moves are busted because how the hell can I play around them? But the fact that potentially Protect can block them is huge. It plays around for a lot of mind games, and again, Protect being so common in the VGC meta, the official Pokemon endorsed competitive Pokemon, that is the meta, it's huge that it has the potential to be blocked. So it leaves a lot for mind games, and I think it makes them less broken than what they want it to be. In a recent interview with Junichi Masuda, said that he wanted Z moves to be in the game to make all Pokemon viable, or Pokemon that were once not viable or once not used as much viable. And I'm sure he was talking about obviously the competitive aspect of it, and he wanted to differ these from the kangaroo pulling the joey out of its pouch and plowing through your team with Power Punch, or this deer clicking Geomancy and getting boost and just being ridiculously overpowered, or this ground type becoming part fire type and making every electric type in the meta have to run HP water if they're paired with like Kyogre. So what he wanted to do with this was obviously make all Pokemon, or any Pokemon, potentially viable by having these powerful moves, right? And I think this is so cool, and definitely is going to affect the meta, the fact that Z moves are potentially blocked by Protect, which means that all these Pokemon with these overpowered moves aren't necessarily overpowered because they only have one shot at doing these moves. and if they protect, they miss their chance. I don't know why Eminem came to mind when I was saying that. I know why Eminem came to mind anyway. But apparently also, this is different from gems, because gems, if you use them on an immunity or on protect, they didn't activate. You could still use them after. Like, for example, the rock gem, if an opponent protected while you were using it, it wouldn't activate. So you could still use it after. And obviously different from Power Herb. Power Herb actually, or similar to Power Herb still activates on an immunity. Or excuse me, on a protect. So like if I protected and if my opponent protected and I use Power Herb Solar Beam, I'll still be wasting my Power Herb, and then the move will obviously fail. So this is kind of similar to that in the sense this only has 1 PP. Power Herb obviously was only 1 item, and if you're immune to it, it will be blocked. So again, I want to know what your thoughts are down below. It's not confirmed 100% that they will be blocked by protect. However, based on what we see right here, and based on the fact that it's 1 PP and there is an animation that activates, we're going to go with the fact that, or we're going to assume that protect does stop Z moves. And I want to know what you think about that. Obviously, protect isn't something that's as common in the singles format, or I guess if you play by Smogon in that format, no. And Z moves will definitely lead for a lot of interesting games, a lot of interesting turns. And I think that's the same thing in VGC as well. Even though protect is so common and it's used on almost every single mon unless it's choiced in some way, I still do think that it'll definitely lead for a lot of interesting things going on, a lot of predictions, and I want to know your thoughts. So of course you can leave your comments down below. If you guys missed the video on the Thunderwave nerf, the Confusion Hacks nerf, or ash-greninja's base stats, and my thoughts on them, and obviously how I feel they pertain to VGC and singles, links to those will be down below. Check out this dude's Twitter, his link is down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.